Hello everyone, it's Rachel, Radical Soul Untangled. Yeah, I just finished my sixth round of kickboxing and I am loving it. Weird little synchronicity is I'm wearing this shirt, and if you can tell, it's like a spoof off of Frogger, Chicken in the Road joke tied into it, or Chicken Crossing the Road joke tied into it. And I've had this shirt for probably over a decade. Then I wore it today, and I wore it to kickboxing, and there was a different instructor I hadn't worked with yet, and she had us doing drills called Frogger. So fun little synchronicity there. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that, I think it might be funny to some people to hear somebody who's like a spiritual guide that's into spirituality and metaphysics now, is doing kickboxing, especially if, my focus is on relationships. And it's like, well, that sounds like you got pent up aggression, or things like that, or working out pent up frustrations, which is what I think a lot of people work out. But for me, it's not like that. It's rarely ever been like that. I don't think I've ever liked working out because I was frustrated. I usually found working out frustrating. So it's like I can't do it if I'm in a frustrated place. However, I don't do it at a competition. I don't like to compete with other people. I like to, put it like I'm competing against my own limitations. I like feeling my body get stronger. I like feeling my body put on muscle. And I put on muscle very quickly. I like feel like I can count on my body, and it's also, there's an integration aspect. Let's see if I can balance out my steering wheel because my arms are so tired. But there's integration with the masculine and the feminine templates, and this, and a lot of spirituality, how it's practiced now, especially since a lot of the field's dominated by women, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a lot of focus on building the feminine energy, and that is necessary. But sometimes, this is where I got in my process, it's like, okay, I am receptive. I'm receptive enough. I'm open to receiving enough, but didn't feel much urge to do anything, and that's fine, because that's what happens when you tap into your feminine. You're open to receiving, but you're not really in a doing state. And so I find that the kickboxing and more than yoga, because I was doing yoga for a bit and I was running for a bit until I got some Achilles tendonitis flaring up. But and I had to stop that, and then I worked on physical therapy and just getting in touch with how to hold my body in different ways, and stretch in different ways, so I wouldn't injure myself. And then that's very good that I did physical therapy before I got into kickboxing. Otherwise, I would probably just be going ham on everything and flailing and not being mindful and paying attention to my form, and I'd probably have strained or sprained something by now. But I'm very conscientious about my form and pacing myself, because again, it's not a competition against anyone else but me. And but yeah, that there's something about hitting something, because I don't want to hurt anyone and I don't want to hurt myself, but there's something about hitting something, that I'm this spiritual energetic entity that created and is inhabiting this body, and then that spiritual energy commands this body to hit something, and then that thing moves. I don't know, it's just very cool. It's to think of it that way, for me, it's very empowering, and a totally different way of just thinking of it as improving my physical fitness. For me, it's integrating the duality of the spiritual and the physical world. If that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to me, and I'm sure it makes sense to whoever's watching this. And if it doesn't, maybe it'll make sense to you someday. But yeah, there's just something, and it just also reminds me of how powerful my will really is, because I've always played myself small to fit into other people's lives, because I did not know how to direct myself. I didn't give myself a sense of my own sense of purpose and direction, because I was afraid that could put me in conflict with other people, and that I couldn't take care of myself because I have ADHD. I'm not punctual. I'm not tidy. I'm not well organized. I'm bad with managing my time. I procrastinate a lot. Like all these executive function disabilities. And so I can't take care of myself. So I need somebody who can manage those things for me, because I'll never be able to manage those things, is what I kept telling myself over and over again. And so I can't have my own goals, my own direction, because what if it puts me in conflict with the person that's supposed to take care of me, that I need to take care of me? So I'll just want what they want. I'll just do what they want me to do. I'll just support them as best I can until I burn out or resent them for it or what have you. Because eventually I get not just frustrated, but angry. Not just resentful, but angry. And I become angry at myself, because then the self-sabotaging kicks in, because I'm not doing what my soul is telling me to do. So the kickboxing helps, a contact sport, better, more so than yoga. Yoga helps ground you in your body, and that's very conducive to opening your, integrating your feminine energy, so I'm not downplaying yoga. I still do some yoga poses, and it keeps you mindful of like how your body is in space, and I still do weight training, that help. I like the feeling of actually building up the muscle mass, and lifting something heavier and heavier every time. I love that. But the kickboxing gives me a real sense of my power, not just as a physical being, but as a spiritual being. And it reminds me, I could just slam into obstacles and I can power through them. There's this heavy ass bag. I can move it with a punch. I can move it with a kick. And every day I move it a little bit further. I can hit a little bit harder and a little bit faster. So I'm really loving it. And like I said, it's not so much about the physical results, and it's definitely, for me, never about hitting things to deal with my frustration. But it's that, and it activates my divine masculine, or my inner masculine template, my doer, my warrior, the one that gets things done, because, that actually seeks out the opportunities, or networks to get the opportunities to come in, and then my feminine's receptive to those opportunities. But I still have to go out, and I still have to do something. I can't just wait for things to automatically come to me. There's a degree of that, and that does just sometimes happen, where all of a sudden I just have this magical day where like everything just seems to go my way, and all I've done was just feel very receptive to things, feel very open to things, and then all of a sudden it's just like gifts pop out of nowhere, from people, or opportunities come up, or things like that. So I do have days like that, and then there are times where it's like I need to make things happen. I need to, otherwise I'm set at other people's paces. And so if I want to accelerate that pace, then I've got to do something. So anyway, yeah, that's why this spiritual person likes to hit shit. and it's been a lot of fun. So I'll keep you guys posted. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Rachel, a radical soul untangled. Take care.